Namaste, hope you are doing good. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm back with a new video. I will react to India, the next space superpower. Actually, it's an interesting title, and I'm so excited to check this video. It's made by Palki Sharma. This woman, I respect her a lot. She's very strong, and I always follow her news. So let's be ready. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Yesterday we talked about India's digital strength. Today India is making headlines again thanks to its space sector. It is reaching for the stars.
Whoa.
And it's got a major
Yeah,
policy
it's reaching
thrust.
for
We're
the
talking
stars.
about the Indian Space Policy 2023. But before we get to that, here's a primer on India's space program. It has seen tremendous growth in recent years. But it wasn't always like this.
Whoa.
After the Second World War, the US and the Soviet Union were the front runners in the space race. Scratch that, they were the only runners. India inventing space tech seemed nearly impossible. But that changed in 1962 when the Indian National Committee for Space Research was formed. It is now called ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization. And here's a fun fact. Its core team involved former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. India launched its first rocket in the year 1963, which was nothing short of a miracle. India's space tech then moved forward in leaps and bounds, but true to its nature, the West felt threatened. In 1992, the US slapped sanctions on ISRO and prevented Russia from sharing cryogenic engine technology with India. So the world did not just refuse to help India, they created hindrances, they mocked us. Who can forget this cartoon from the New York Times?
Oh my God.
They tried to ridicule India's space ambitions. Undeterred, India moved forward. And who knew that 2 decades later, India will be helping them?
They don't believe
ISRO
that
joined
India is
hands
so
with
powerful.
NASA to co-develop the world's most expensive Earth imaging satellite. India also went on to find water on the moon in 2008, and in 2014, the New York Times apologized for
Wow.
that cartoon. Because India's space growth
Thanks
put
God
them to
they
shame,
apologized.
and it continues to grow. In 2020, India's space economy was worth $9.6 billion. By 2025, it will be $13 billion.
जैसे भारत के
Wow.
आईटी सेक्टर का सामर्थ्य आज दुनिया देख रही है, वैसे ही आने वाले दिनों में भारत के स्पेस सेक्टर की ताकत नई ऊंचाई पर होगी.
India's space sector is gearing up for a new era, and the best part is this. It's all made in India. Indigenous technology and structural ambitious shifts. I'll give you an example.
Yeah, that's
In
the best
2020,
thing, that
India
it's
opened up
made in
its space
India.
sector for private players. The result was this. More than 200 space startups have come up in India in the last 3 years. More than 200. They have collectively raised more than $245 million in funding. And this is just the beginning. Many are even working towards launch services. In November last year, the Vikram S was launched. It was India's first privately built rocket. It was built by a Hyderabad-based startup. This announced the arrival of the private space sector in India. The same month saw 2 more launches. 2 radio communication nano satellites were launched, again by a Hyderabad-based company. Then an Earth imaging satellite was launched, this time by a company in Bengaluru. India also got its first private launch pad. It was established by a space tech startup incubated at IIT Madras. And these are just a few examples. The new space policy will help spawn many such companies. India is launching space reforms to drive its space economy. It is already among the top global players.
इंडिया इज अ फ्रंट लाइन नेशन एज फार एज स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी इज कंसर्न. हमारी जो इनपुट्स हैं मार्स मिशन की आज नासा को उपलब्ध हो रही हैं. हमारे यहाँ चंद्रयान ने जाकर के डिस्कवर किया द प्रेजेंस ऑफ वाटर ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ मून.
India's space program has had a spectacular journey. Most of it was driven by ISRO. But there's a lot of untapped potential. Sample this. India's space sector accounts for just about 2% of the global space economy. There is room for private players to drive up this number, and the new space policy should help. It will invite larger participation. But remember, this policy is still short of a bill. A bill would provide a legal framework for the commercial use of space. It would also help create mechanisms for insurance, for instance, against damage in space. Right now, that's not an option, and that means huge costs for private players. So the policy is a good first step,
Yeah.
A lot more can be done to unleash India's space economy. They say the sky is the limit.
Wow.
We say the sky is only the launch pad.
My friends, it was really an interesting video. Those information was so important. I learned a lot about the space sector in India. Palki Sharma shows us the growth in space technology in India. Actually, it's so important to know. And we saw, my friends, always when I react to videos related to space in India, how much Indian space research organizations or ISRO has launched several successful missions. Really, ISRO is doing a great job. I hope all the best for India's space sector, and she will reach on top. I hope, my friends, that you enjoyed my reaction video, and if you want to see more videos, you can mention your suggestions in the comments. See you in the next video. Have a beautiful day. Love you all. Bye.